My name is John Sennett. I'm a U.S. citizen living in Kyiv. I've been here throughout the war, and I'm a volunteer with the Ukraine PR Army. I've been with them since about March, and today I'm here to tell you about them. The Ukraine PR Army is a communication front, and our mission is to win the information war against the Russian Federation and its allies, and to ensure the reputation of Ukraine as a democratic country develops and flourishes. The PR Army is a nonprofit organization that is headquartered here in Kyiv, Ukraine, and it works for the benefit of Ukraine and its citizens. We were founded in the first few days of the full-scale invasion and have been working on the information front since then and will continue to do so. The problems that we're running into is a decline of interest in the war and Ukraine's needs. We understand that many things are happening around the world and that the war is affecting economies throughout the world, but we need to keep the information front going as far as what Ukraine's needs are so that this thing can end for everyone and everyone can move on. We also have to deal with the distorted perception of Ukraine in the global arena as seen recently by the presentation by Amnesty International. We are also focusing on the food, energy, and environmental crises that are caused by the war throughout the world and in Ukraine. And finally, we need to maintain a focus on the future of Ukraine and justice in the form of military tribunals and how Ukraine continues to develop after the war finishes. Our solutions include promoting Ukrainian voices, and that means experts and eyewitnesses, the advocacy of democratic values throughout the country at the local, regional, and national level, working with business and topics on those doing business with the Russian Federation and how the Russian Federation is continuing to generate income from their energy sources, and how to further strengthen sanctions and stop this so that the war has to stop so that they run out of the resources to continue the war. And then we need to continue to promote the strategic narratives of Ukraine, which includes the military tribunals and especially reconstruction and reforming the economy when the war ends. How are we doing this? Well, we're using Ukrainian eyewitnesses and experts, as well as outside experts. We're also tracking as much of the disinformation coming out of the Russian Federation as possible and trying to counter it. We're also working on the trade ban and information concerning those doing business with Russia, and also trying to free up more trade for Ukraine. We're also focusing on the food and eco crisis being caused throughout the world, and especially the eco crisis that's happening in Ukraine with the destruction of rivers and fields and other natural resources. And then we're working for what's going to happen after the war, like the military tribunal, as well as rebuilding Ukraine and continuing to advocate for transparency and democratic values. Our projects include, but are not limited to, the Ukrainian View, which is on Medium and is free. You do not have to have a subscription to Medium to read the articles. Save UA Women is also a website that we have to highlight what's happening to women and how they're suffering, including war crimes, and also their courage and what they're doing to raise their children, and also the women that are serving in the military. We also have a news digest on our website, which is accessible, and I will put the website in at the end so that you can read it or look it up. And then we're also working on a book which is essays from eyewitnesses. We have been featured and worked with a number of top media outlets throughout the United States and the world in 74 different countries, 5,500 plus materials as a result of our work, and 8,000 mentions of our materials in social networks. This data is all provided by one of our partners called LookMe. Our research shows through one of our partners that we could reach as many as 2.3 billion people with our messages and our information concerning the war in Ukraine. We could reach over 600,000 with information about our PR Army and the Information Front of Ukraine. We are not the only organization doing this. There are many organizations doing this. It's sort of a Cossack style, just like the Ukrainian military is a Cossack style. We're all fighting this from different points. Our organization is primarily organized by public relations professionals here in Ukraine. We're also trying to increase the number of journalists we work with from 3,000 to 10,000 so that they can have access to information directly from us or from reputable sources. You can see here a map of our primary reach, and that includes countries that are friendly to Ukraine and also many that are lukewarm or even not friendly to Ukraine. We're trying to increase our geographic reach, and we're looking for help to do that. You can see here many cases where we worked with eyewitnesses or provided eyewitnesses. Sometimes this is translation, sometimes this is interpretation, sometimes this is direct contact with the actual eyewitnesses. We also have provided experts for many news outlets and helped with translation on that as well as just setting up the meetings and making sure that the message gets across. We've also been working on the Euro integration front. We've made a lot of progress there, as Ukraine has as well, and we're thankful to the EU for everything that they've done and are doing for us. And we need to continue to work in the direction of Ukraine becoming part of the EU. We have also provided information about the abduction of Ukrainian citizens and helped with their release, or some of our work has resulted in their release. We also have exposed many Russia-affiliated businesses and how they're making blood money and continuing to finance the war through their business. And we've also been working with the Pratula Foundation for acquiring UAVs and other necessary items for the Ukrainian armed forces. Okay, we are looking for partners to help support us. Corporations, organizations, nonprofits, individuals, news outlets. You can see the benefits on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to get a lot of access to our coordinators and to our content and helping us help you. Also, you may be a public relations firm. You may be a corporation that eventually may do business in Ukraine when the war is over for rebuilding. You could be a law firm, you could be a nonprofit. There's many different ways that you can help by helping us to fight disinformation and to spread accurate information about Ukraine. Now, there are different levels of partners, and you have to excuse me, I've blocked the general partner, which is probably the most important as far as income goes. But you can see the amounts for the inspiring partner and the main partner. Now, the general partner is $5,000 a month, or $55,000, I believe, for a lump sum payment for 1 year. But you can also donate directly to us on our website, which I'll put in the notes, on an individual basis, or if you just want to make a one-time payment and not be a partner. Any help is greatly appreciated and needed at this point. Okay, so how will we use money that is donated? Well, for compensation, that's probably our number one priority. We have people who have been volunteering full-time for 6 months and have not received any compensation. Some people, like myself, I work remotely for a client in the United States, so I don't really need much money as far as the PR Army is concerned, and we have a lot of other people in that boat as well who are leaders within the organization who have remote clients and are working remotely. But we have plenty of people who are literally living hand to mouth. We try to help them as much as we can, but we need some outside help to take care of our authors, our translators, and we need full-time people to run the organization, including we need a social media coordinator, for instance, and somebody to basically run the day-to-day management. We also need tools. We need access to databases. All of these things take subscriptions and they cost money. We also need to be able to develop our strategic narratives, which sometimes takes a lot of background investigation. It takes maybe going out and interviewing people, having a vehicle or getting a vehicle to go out and do that. These things are all costs that are involved in running the nonprofit. We are working on product creation. Of course, we need to be able to invest in that so that we can start generating revenue for ourselves as an organization. Okay. Our management team is made up of 15 coordinators. Only 10 are shown here. Some people we cannot show for privacy reasons and security reasons. All of our coordinators, as far as I know, speak English. If you want to connect with them, they're all on LinkedIn. They're all easily found. I'm sorry I'm blocking somebody's name, but if you want a copy of this presentation without my beautiful face, well, then I can provide you one. And I can provide you more information, and I'll give you my information at the end of the presentation. But we have 200 plus volunteers, and a lot of those volunteers have not been paid at all for any of their work. So we're trying to do our best to find a way to take care of our people. Okay, now these are some of our partners that we're already working with and who are sponsoring us to a certain extent, whether it's through services or monetary donations. Everybody within the organization, for the most part, is a public relations professional dealing with Ukrainian clients. Some of them are dealing with outside clients, so there's a lot of benefits to helping us because you will get a lot of exposure. We will put you up on the website. We will talk to you directly. And especially for those corporations and businesses and nonprofits that are looking to come here when the war is over, you will already have a team on the ground that can help you. So that's just some of the benefits as well. And hopefully it's because you're concerned with promoting Ukraine as a free democracy and helping us to win the war against the Russian Federation. Look, the truth of the matter is that the information war is probably going to continue long after the conventional war is over. And we're going to continue to have to fight it because there's a huge amount of disinformation out there. We couldn't even begin to hit every source of disinformation from the individual level as a Facebook user or somebody who writes articles or who is on YouTube. There's just so much out there that is going on now and will continue to go on. So we need your help to fight the information war. Okay, this gives you some information on how you can transfer money in. I can always send you this by email if you like. And then I'm going to talk to you about a button at the bottom of our webpage at the end of the presentation so that you can donate as an individual, or if you just want to make a one-time donation and don't want to be a partner, so that that's accessible to you as well. Here's just a couple more ways to send us a donation, and we're greatly appreciative of any donations that you give. Okay, in conclusion, let's win this thing together because it's the right thing to do. Now, I blocked out, unfortunately, one of the main contacts here, Anastasiia. She is the main coordinator for fundraising. I am just primarily dealing with the English-speaking audiences. Now, both of us work full-time remotely, so we can get back to you within 24 to 48 hours most of the time. Sometimes we can get back to you immediately depending on how busy we are. But without your help, we and Ukraine doesn't win this thing. And I really, really hope that you take some time, send me an email. I will gladly send you this presentation without my pretty face so that you can read through it in more detail and see some of the links and other information that's there. And I really want to thank you for your time. Slava Ukraini.